Good morning, this is Rob Rotman for Adapt Chicago Productions. Well, summer is gone and we've had another successful Disability Pride Parade. And I'd like to introduce Mr. Gary Arnold, who is the Grand Marshal this year. Gary, tell us about the Disability Pride Parade.
Sure. First of all, thanks, Rob, for inviting me on your show today. Disability Pride Parade is once a year, usually the Saturday before the anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. People with disabilities and their friends and supporters and disability allies from Chicago, but also from other places around the country, gather in downtown to celebrate disability pride and to celebrate our history and celebrate who we are as a community. And we gather around the library and then we march up Dearborn to Daley Plaza, where there's a party and a celebration.
Right. When did it get started here in Chicago?
2004 was the first year. It was initially organized by a woman named Sarah Triano and a few colleagues of hers. Sarah was the recipient of, I think it was a Justin Dart Award from the American Association with Peoples with Disabilities, and she used that award to support the first Disability Pride Parade in Chicago in 2004, and since then Chicago has hosted a parade every year, so this year was number 11. That's
great. And what do you think is the importance of the parade?
Well, I think even today, you know, though a lot has changed with the Americans with Disabilities Act, with awareness, even today people with disabilities face barriers, and a significant part of those barriers are social barriers. Right. Some people will still believe that, you know, disability is a very negative thing. If you have a disability, you need to fix yourself, you need to change, you need to overcome that disability. The Pride Parade tries to reverse that perception of disability, and it tries to say that disability is a natural part of life. Disability is going to impact all of us, either directly or indirectly at some point in our lives. And if we're going to improve our lives, we're better off focusing on changing the community around us rather than changing who we are as individuals. And for those of us with disabilities, it's something that we have every right to celebrate and be proud of, because there's a history behind it, and there's a community that comes along with us that we're proud of. And by putting that on display every year, it gives individuals with disabilities an opportunity to come, be comfortable, celebrate who they are, but it also does an important job of raising awareness about disabilities with people who may not be familiar with disability.
And why were you chosen as the Grand Marshal?
Well, isn't that obvious?
Obviously, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. You know, I don't know. I was very honored to be selected. In my role, I'm very fortunate because I get to work on disability rights issues every day of my life. Right. I've worked at Access Living for 15 years now, which is a disability rights and service organization in Chicago with whom I do public relations work. So I'm able to promote the good work of the disability community as part of my job every day. So I'm part of the Chicago disability community, and I'm also the president of Little People of America, which is a national membership-based organization for people with dwarfism around the country. And we also are, one of our main goals is raising awareness about disability, presenting the idea, presenting the message that disability is a natural part of life, and people with disabilities, whether it be dwarfism or not, can and should live natural lives.
Right. Now, it's interesting, I think not only were you honored, but a member of your community was honored with the Dan Van Hecke Award. Tell us who Dan Van Hecke was, and then tell us who got it.
Dan Van Hecke was one of the original organizers with the parade. I think the first couple of years, or maybe the first year, he was a taxi driver in the Chicago community, and he made a significant effort to really be address the needs of people with disabilities. Was always there for people with disabilities in terms of his taxi service, and he really helped out his first year, the first year of the parade, and then he got involved on the organizing committee.
Right.
He and I worked together in the 2005 parade.
Wow.
And parades that followed. He was a significant part of that planning process. So he was an integral part of the Disability Pride Parade for several years. And unfortunately, he passed away several years ago. And the great Janice Dashwick, who's also been a part
Right.
of the parade for many years, created this award as a way of honoring the life of Dan and the spirit that he brought to the community and his work to promote disability pride. And so each year, I think it's been 3 or 4 years now, the parade presents the Dan Van Hecht Award to somebody who really embodies the spirit of disability pride in their work and in their life. And your friend and mine, Teki Lemnicki, was this year's recipient. Teki's also a member of Little People of America. She's an actor and a playwright and a writer in the Chicago
That's
community.
great. I'm so glad she was honored. And speaking of the LPA Association, I understand Mr. Peter Dinklage, the star of Games of Thrones, next year in New York will be doing Hamlet. What a role for him to do.
What a role for him. He is really, he is not a member of Little People of America. We'd love for, hopefully someday he'll attend an event or be a part of our organization. But even with him not being a member of the organization, he's done so much just by acting, by pursuing what he loves. He's done so much to present the image that actors with dwarfism don't have to be defined by their dwarfism. He is a legit and a very talented actor, his dwarfism notwithstanding. What makes his roles so powerful have nothing to do with his dwarfism, but they have everything to do with his skills as an actor. And by doing that, by being judged for his skills and not his stature, he's really opened doors for people and really done a lot to raise awareness.
And speaking of which, your partner in life, of course, is Katie. She works with the SIBS network. Were they in the parade this year?
They have been a part of the parade for several years now. The SIBS network is the sibling, now I forget what the I stand for. Sibling organization is a national group of people who are brothers and sisters of people with disabilities, and their goal is to provide support for brothers and sisters of people with disabilities. Oftentimes, it's the focus is on the parents of a person with a disability, or it's on the person with a disability, but the siblings need supports as well. And so that was why that organization was established. And they played a big role with the parade, because what they've done is, rather than march in the parade, they always are there on the sidelines to cheer on the parade, giving us an audience, which sometimes, we don't have as much of an audience as we want when we march up Dearborn. And so they're always there at Madison and Dearborn to cheer us on. So that is great.
And I know Katie is such a good advocate, and she's doing well. And what do you think can be done to expand the parade?
I think we need to, continue networking with not just disability organizations in Chicago, but with city organizations, the city government, and other organizations that we're natural allies with. Get more, expand our outreach, get other groups involved, and keep pushing the message in the media so that other people are aware of it, and other people, eventually someday, we may be like the St. Patrick's Day Parade or the Bob Billiken Parade, and there'll be thousands of people lining the street, but we're great about where it is now. And we've got floats, we've got hundreds of people marching, and we've got a big party.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you. One more thing I will say, Mr. Arnold, is that your wife is from New Jersey, Katie. Next year it's a celebration. We celebrate the centennial of my favorite Jersey boy, Mr. Francis Albert Sinatra. And I know that Katie has agreed we're going to be on a committee to celebrate the 100th birthday a man who certainly means a lot to the city. So,
That's
anything
yeah.
else, sir?
Well, yeah. I just want to echo what you say. You know, I'm sure Katie, who is the executive director of the Sibling Leadership Network, it came back to me. Is excited about the great birthday of Sinatra coming up, as I'm sure many New Jerseyans are.
All right,
yes.
Okay. Well, that's all for today. Thank you, Gary. Please
Thanks,
come
Rob.
back.
Cool.
Thanks.